Good morning. Hello, everybody. Dorothy Morgan here, longtime professional astrologer. We're talking about May 8th. We have the moon square the sun. That's called the first quarter or second quarter. Depends on which book you're looking at. It's the first square between the sun and the moon after the new moon. We're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about the lunar gestation cycle that this first quarter is related to from 9 months ago. So you can get a longer view. And we're going to look at the shorter view because we just had that new moon on April 30th, which was also a solar eclipse. And today's first quarter moon square sun is halfway between these two eclipses. We have another one on May 15th/16th. So we're going to talk about that. I know all that, just the intro. That's a lot of stuff. We'll do our Astro dice as always, and we'll do our card as always. So let me share my screen with you and we can get started. Here is just the picture. This is just from my latitude and longitude. We don't talk houses here because everybody lives in a different place. I don't put the ascendant midheaven info in either, because when we all live somewhere else, those numbers, those positions are very different. We do have the numbers here that I'm talking about, though. The sun at 1823 Taurus, the moon at 1823 Leo. That square right there from the new moon that we had on April 30th, we're now halfway between the new moon eclipse and the full moon eclipse. So halfway between the solar and the lunar eclipses. This is a pivotal point. It's a 90-degree angle that creates, and that usually means that there is some struggle of some sort. Now, don't take this on, don't misunderstand me, that everybody today is going to be having some struggles. That's not the case. Now, there could be some struggle internally, that you have something that's just bugging the dickens out of you and you're feeling edgy about it. All right, you're feeling edgy about something, but that doesn't mean it will ruin your whole day. It doesn't mean that it will even infiltrate into other things that you need to do and want to do today. Today's Mother's Day here in the US, so we're celebrating in a lot of ways. A lot of people are, and even if your mother's not present, well, you can celebrate her beautiful spirit. So I don't want you to misunderstand. I've been finding a lot of people are really misunderstanding some of the things that are being said these days. It's not just me personally. I've seen it in a lot of different forums that I'm in. So of course you're going to hear it the way you hear it, but I don't want you to misunderstand. The square between the sun and the moon today, this evening, does cause frustration in some area. But when we work through that frustration, or we work through something, meaning we actually have to go work through something, whether it's emotionally or physically, then we accomplish something. And that leads us to being more accomplished. We feel like we've gotten through something, and it feels even better than when something is just super easy. And you're like, oh, that was nice. But when you really work towards something, it makes a difference. It really makes a difference. And that's what this first quarter moon represents. It represents like the seed that's been planted and how it has to work its way through the soil to come to the surface. That takes effort and some struggle, but it's worth it, because then we get to flourish. So over this next week, while we're moving towards the next eclipse, the next full moon lunar eclipse, then we have an opportunity to work towards our goals, whatever you are focusing on right now. All right. I want you to continue to consider that more than anything. Don't take this on as like it's going to be a struggle and a tough day. That's not the case. I got something going on that's bugging the dickens out of me. And, I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to put it aside. And when it's time to address it again, I'll address it again. But I'm not going to let it ruin the whole day. No, I wouldn't do that. Don't you do it either. Don't you do it either. And if it's something internal and something emotional or something you're having to deal with others, then, when we get to that full moon on the 15th or the 16th, depends on where you live, then that will give us a full awareness of certain things as well. So we have another week before that happens. I'll get that video up sooner than later. I've just been lazy lately. I don't know why. I know why. I have Taurus rising. It's 18 degrees. So the sun is just about on my ascendant. The sun's been traversing my 12th house for over 6 weeks now. So a lot of internal work happening, which is fine. All right. That's what I want to talk about. Okay. We're going to stop the share. So don't misunderstand me. Work on the things you know you need to work on. And if you want to ignore it, then go ahead. I don't care. Sometimes we need to just ignore things and just enjoy life and enjoy the moment and enjoy what's going on and not let everything dictate what's happening. So I love that you watch astrology. So that's fantastic, but don't let it control you either. Astro dice are next. Changing subjects. What do you want Spirit to tell you? What kind of message does Spirit have for us? No, that's fun. I might have rolled this one recently. Uranus in Gemini in the first house. It's so bizarre. It's not bizarre, but what it tells us is that if you had a question, here's a scenario. So Uranus in Gemini is unusual information out of the blue in the first house for you. Okay, first house for you, and you, all of us as individuals. The first house represents our ego drive. It's our physical being. It's who we are. It's how the world sees us. It's not necessarily our zodiac sign. All right. So the energy of this roll of the dice is telling me that Uranus in Gemini. So Gemini is information and communication. So it could very well be that we get a moment of lightning strike information will come into us that will serve our purpose as individuals. First house. You will have a bright idea that will serve your purpose. Unusual and unique information will come through. Maybe, Uranus rules our electronics. Maybe you'll go buy a new cell phone or a new computer today. Do your research, though. All right. That was fun. I like that one because that one is just like, ooh, lots of be prepared today to respond to whatever news information you receive. You can, because we can't really predict what Uranus is about. There's never a way to predict what Uranus is about, with the exception of it will be unexpected, unique, different, can be volatile, can be exciting. We don't know what Uranus does because all it's doing is it's the energy, and what it represents is to keep us out of, to push us out of comfort zone, because growth doesn't happen in the comfort zone. I know I like my comfort zone. I don't want it to, I like a little steadiness. I got Taurus rising. I'd love a little steadiness here and there. Uranus wants us to grow, and it's okay to have the steady things, but it wants us to grow and to be free and to just be inspired. And with it in Gemini, in the roll of the dice, in Gemini in the first house, it's definitely going to be inspirational. And it could be very, I'm just doing one card today. It could be very volatile too, or somebody could pick a fight. It is Mother's Day. People do have to come together. They feel they have to come together. You don't have to do anything. Peace pipe shows up, and I'm giggling because it just reminds me. It's like, all right, smoke that pipe. What's in it? Anyways, when the peace pipe comes up, it's about please make sure that you listen. Like I just mentioned when we first started, a lot of people are misunderstanding some of my words here and in real life, so that can cause stress and tension and arguments if you're not careful. I'm not an arguer. I don't argue with people. It's never a point. Everybody has their own opinion. I'm not going to argue with anybody, but when the peace pipe comes up, maybe you need to just close your mouth, hang in there. Peace is better than arguing. I don't mean don't defend yourself, of course, if you have to, but when that peace pipe comes up, it's just be calm. Choose peace over war. Choose that harmony. And to me, that's what that really represents, finding that common ground where you can have conversations with people, even if you disagree. I know that's hard to do these days, but to me, it represents that and even a little bit more. Let me see if there's anything I'm missing about that card. I don't pick this card very often. Forgive yourself, forgive others. Don't carry a burden. Help others mend the bridges, bring peace to the world. Yeah, what we said. Okay, I didn't miss much. All right, everybody. Peace. Blessings and namaste.